Night mode operations in Delta Force is a cool and thrilling experience, but you only get to play it for less than 2 hours. What? Delta Force New Season is one of the most anticipated releases, being the inclusion of the mobile platform for global release, with a new stealth operator, new weapon camos, and the first introduction of night mode maps in both Warfare and Operations mode. For a gamer who grew up playing shooter games like Call of Duty, Splinter Cell, Sniper Elite, and more, who have specific missions that involve stealth operations at night, or you have to navigate your way to an almost pitch dark environment with as little of a light source that you have, gives a higher importance of being undetected, a double sense of dread in every corner, and making crucial decisions that will either be your victory or downfall in the dark. That's what makes night modes cool, and like a lot of Delta Force players, hearing about the addition of night mode maps and operations set high expectations for the new season. And those expectations were indeed met, with Trench Lines and Zero Dam having their night version counterpart. Warfare looked and felt like the war between two factions took the entire day, where the evening practically swallowed the battlefield, and the only light sources were the dooming orange sky, fire scattered across the ground, operator flashlights, and explosions of the ongoing battle. It looked really cool and gave more purpose and importance to a flashlight attachments as they illuminate your path and also enemies. But I'm not saying that the visibility is an issue, as enemy markers and outlines can still help you pinpoint each other, but it's also a nice touch to give more emphasis and use to our weapon light sources. This night mode version of Warfare has indeed showcased how the developers can work with their creativity and make the game mode as interesting as it always has been. The only issue here is that night mode for Warfare was only applied to trench lines, as the other maps in the random rotation stay the same. And as I mentioned, maps in Warfare are mostly on rotation or randomly picked, so there's only a slight chance for you to get in this night mode version of trench lines. Other than that, the map is cool. It makes the game mode feel different and fun, so better for you to try it out if you haven't already. Moving on to Operations, and for those who are still unaware, Operations mode is the extraction mode of Delta Force. The night mode version of Operations is also as good as how Trench Lines was treated, with Zero Dam engulfed in shadows of the night. The map feels different, yet is structured the same, but gives you a better appreciation of the area as a whole. Each point of interest or loot hot zone have their own sources of light that give a little bit of illumination for players to navigate and work with. Comparing against Warfare, where you can still run and gun like the usual, with this specific night mode in Operations, you'll most likely lean on the elements of stealth, awareness of your surroundings, attention to sound, and tactical positioning. Both Warfare and Operations had the benefit of using flashlights and thermal optics, but in this new season, night vision goggles have been added for Operations specifically as another option of visibility, serving as a tier 6 helmet for night ops. Really cool helmets, but very low durability. These night operations have the normal difficulty applied, so don't expect gunfights in this game mode to be a cakewalk. Be prepared to carry your best gear and any options you have for visibility in the dark. As I've said though, it's not that dark in most spots, as the developers have placed light sources well, so that even without flashlights or NVGs, you can still move around Zero Dam with ease. The one big and glaring issue with the specific night operations mode, it's only available for less than 2 hours in a day. So basically, the most hyped game mode for this season is only playable for less than a quarter of 24 hours. And again, being applied to only one of the 4 maps we have available to choose from sucks, as it would have been so cool to see a night version of Layali Grove, Brakesh, and even Space City. For both modes, I feel like the developers could have landed a home run, with the option to apply night mode on all maps, on all game modes available, but it seems that they decided to partially do the entire idea just to be safe. Well, I guess we can't have everything, but it would have made all Delta Force players happier if they did. So it makes you wonder, why not? Why not go all out? Why not add night mode on all maps or modes? I'm really sorry, but I don't fucking know. These developers are weird for applying these kinds of features like this in the same way with how they added Brakesh and Space City, as you cannot actively participate in raids in those maps because they can only be joinable on specific days or time schedules. And I feel like this is the same reason as well. It's matchmaking. Matchmaking is mainly the possible reason for harder maps having time schedules and also night mode being accessible in the same way. But again, you would say, but there are already so many players in the game, how would it have matchmaking problems? And that's a mouthful, but also true. So if the player count is not the issue, then the funneling system is. When I say funneling system, it means the matchmaking system in place. And matchmaking has been weird with Delta Force. As I've stated in this video for Arena Breakout Infinite, there are certain variables that you have to consider to apply a proper matchmaking system for an extraction shooter. There are levels, ranking, and gear value, and those would be the main variables, but there are also discussions that skill-based matchmaking is also applied, specifically to warfare, but there are also notable circumstances where that also apply to operations, where even on a low rank or player level, there are still some cases where you can run into a high-ranking player in the game. So again, the matchmaking is weird and provides no clarity in situations of uneven ranking or high-ranking differences, which makes it the possible culprit of the setup we are having in these timed maps and timed game modes. And quite honestly, it would be a very long rabbit hole for us to dive into this more and more, as only the developers can explain why matchmaking is set up this way. Going back, I genuinely enjoy these night maps and night modes, as they brought something fresh for the new season and also ties in well with the current lore that is set up with a new operator being introduced as well. I just do wish they would add this as a recurring thing and not unlimited game mode, and also extend the time duration that you are up to play it. It makes gameplay so much fun and adds into the immersion feeling. So those were my thoughts about night mode in Delta Force. I'd like to know what you guys think about it. Do let me know in the comment section. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more extraction content. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.
Hostiles detected. Flashing drone out.
This way.
I'm reloading.
Cover built.
This way.
Stop them.
Broken.
Enemy there.
Enjoy the light show.
use it for cover. That was a blast.